I hope you're in the mood for a chatty random vlog because it was the best vlog in the universe, except for the ones that were better.
Oh my goodness, I'm in love with spring! Everything is blossoming and blooming, and the lilac smells so amazing. It's so intoxicating. I've had all these poetic thoughts going through my mind as I was walking Stellan around. I think it's just so much easier to say poetic-y things on paper than to try to say them out loud, because I immediately feel like paper me is just such a different person than out loud me. You're gonna set this up here. So this is much prettier to look at behind me than the grill. But it doesn't want to start. But it occurs to me in this time before I go and pick up the baby that I should multitask and tidy up this sunroom a bit, because the kids have taken it over. Thoughts about spring. I feel like a little bit more self-conscious about my body and the weight that I've gained. I didn't realize how much it was a gift to have big coats and jackets and layers, to not feel so weird about how different I feel like I look. But I've still held to a high standard. I mean, maybe it's not that high, but it's very important to me that I haven't been like, oh, I'm feeling fat, in front of my kids. Because what we say in front of kids matters. And I don't want them to look at their bodies and feel like there's anything wrong with them. And it's not like the fact that I could get healthier is something that's wrong with me. It's just my body. I had a baby a year ago. I like candy. I haven't talked about this in a while, so maybe there's some of you friends here that don't know this thing. But when I was a kid, oh no, Morton's birthday flowers. I don't think they're gonna pull through. I wonder if is there a point to planting these? Ah, forgot to put my beautiful crystal on today. Special lady at when I used to go to the second-hand shop in Grobo all the time, the Rue de Corchet. She gave it to me and a few other special stones and crystals, including one of them that said trust your instinct. Trust your instinct. She gave me this cool ring. It had a different crystal in it, but that crystal kept falling out. And I don't wear this because in public or whatever, because I don't want it to fall out again. It's too cool. And this was the beautiful citrine. Oh, I love this thing. It feels so soft and nice. Very special stuff. Shelter me. Ow! So, when I was a kid, I was bored, homesick one day, and all I had to read, this was before the internet, kids. There was nothing to do but read, and there was some old pocket books from my mom's, when my mom was a kid, when a teenager, and one of them was about a child star from the 70s or 80s who had an eating disorder, and that book just haunted me. Not in a way that like I dwelt on it with a certain dread or anything, but seeing pictures of a person that is like 20 years old or more, weighing 80 pounds, was just like, oh. That poor woman. She like had anorexia and bulimia, and she had a horrible relationship to food. And I decided, I think I was probably like, I was somewhere in the range of like 10 to 12-ish, I want to say. But I decided, nope, I am not ever gonna worry about my weight. I'm not gonna let myself think about it, obsess about it. I'm never gonna, I made a promise to myself at that young of an age, like, I'm not gonna diet. And I never have. I'm just shifting Lego around with my feet right now. Collecting them to a pile. I realize I may be a bit of a unicorn in that. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm better than people who have dieted or anything like that. Because being aware of health and dieting are different things. But I'm like, I remember so many different diet culture things happening. I remember things switching around to, from carbs are good, carbs are bad, meat is good, meat is bad. Nailed it. I wouldn't want someone being around my kids and being like, oh, I'm just feeling so fat. I know I can't protect them forever. But I'm so proud of a lot of things with them. I'm so proud about the things that I've told them that blows their mind. That, like, I have a brother who's trans, and when I've told them, there's people that don't think that trans people are real, that they are just confused and just lying, that they're actually bad people, whatever. Like, my kids are shocked, and I tell them there's people that think that if people are gay, they shouldn't be allowed to be married. They're utterly shocked. They are growing up better than me. Such fun. I've been productive today. I have gotten 2 podcasts. One is going to go up today. Once I'm just like really sure that I picked a really good name for it. Because there was one of the podcasts I did recently with my friend Alicia. I realized, like, before putting it up, no, this title is wrong. It's boring and generic. It needs something more. And then I fixed the thumbnail too, because it was also generic and dull. And then I was like, this is so much better. So the conversation is going to be going up today, Monday the 20th, I want to say, is with a lady who's a channeler. And I saw her on this podcast called Next Level Soul with Alex Ferrari. And that conversation's got something over 225,000 views. And because it's just so freaking gorgeous outside, I was like, I'm gonna record my intro and outro outside. And that's nice. I'm just gonna like be taking, if I can do this outside, I will. If I can do this with the door open and the wind blowing on me, like while editing, I will. Because it's too beautiful to just sit in darkness. For sure. Man, I have spent so much time of my life so sweeping up piles of my kids' stuff and very carefully pulling out all the Legos inside of it, all the tiny bits of toys. It's easier to think my poetic thoughts while I'm actually out and about than just sitting there. So yes, spring feels like an exuberant, passionate expression of love. It feels like how it felt when Morton and I were falling in love and all we wanted to do was be together all we wanted to do was just be alone. And even when we were in a crowd of people, we only saw each other. It's just this all-encompassing, I just want to be around him. Spring feels like that. Just feels like, can you feel that love all around? Look at all these colors. Look at all this joy expressed. But I briefly mentioned my podcast with a person who's a channeler, and it was so interesting when she went into her kind of trance isn't the right word, but when she did her thing and spoke with a different voice. And for so many years of my life, I would have thought that is straight up evil, that is demonic. But obviously I don't think that now, because I'm putting that podcast out there. And I feel like I've put enough stuff on this channel to scare anybody away that would have been thinking the same. Or if people are still here, they give me the benefit of the doubt that I am following my heart, and that my heart isn't so far gone too evil that I can't comprehend anything anymore. Because I feel very much at peace and very excited in a lot of ways. Man, I've got a lot of thoughts swirling around right now about how I'm not feeling so good about how I look, and how generally removed I am from even remembering that I have a body, that I'm not just, the eyes behind it all. And I'm thinking about how my parents, I don't ever remember my parents telling me that I was beautiful. I'm sure they've said it, like maybe on my wedding day, maybe when I graduated, maybe they wrote it in cards. I'm so proud of the beautiful young woman you're growing into, kind of sentiments, special sentiments, but they sure don't say it now. I tell my kids they're beautiful every day. I'm sure they're sick of it. My parents chose not to be overly complimentary because they knew some other parents who were telling their kids they were beautiful every day, and they thought it was a bit much. So, sucks to be me. I remember, well, that's a loud tractor. Do you mind? But it's like feeling bad about how you look would have to imply ever feeling good about it. And there have been times that I have felt good about how I presented myself. But generally, come on, wind. I hope the wind isn't too distracting. Generally, looking good has been you don't do that. If you look good, you're gonna cause some man to stumble, because men are fit to lead, but not fit to rule their own eyeballs and their own lusts. I very clearly remember my dad saying, if you ever look in the mirror after getting ready for church and think, I look good, you should just immediately change. Because, you're not supposed to think about yourself. You're not supposed to feel good in your body. You're not supposed to cause anybody else to sin. That's wrong. That's selfish. That's evil. I remember being absolutely flabbergasted about parts of movies where girls were stuffing their bras and whatnot. Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody want that? That's bad to want that. Ah, man. But just reflecting on my life, all of my 20s, I was a missionary, theater, an itinerant person. My role was to be professional, to be taken seriously. And then when I turned 30, a few months later, I became a mom. shortly into my 30s was when I started deconstructing pretty heavily. And I'm now in my late 30s. I've just paid very little attention to me, what I like, what I look good in, what I feel good in. I just don't know. And then I catch my reflection walking along and I'm like, is that how I look? Really? And it goes without saying that the beauty industry is absolutely intimidating and, you know, airbrushed and unrealistic and la la la. But for too long, just stay. For too long, that whole feeling of that's too much turned into this big, like, people who like that stuff are dumb, which obviously is too far. But, you know, our younger selves did the best they could with what they knew. So I got myself some dollar store makeup. Not because I need it, but because of playing. Just playing. Just doing something different. To feel different. To play. Pretty colors. There's a turquoise in there. Nice, cool, fun, smoky colors. So it is a dollar store, but things don't cost just $1. This was, I think, like $6. I don't need to. Okay. I need to get this channel monetized. I need to be able to get like channel memberships with exclusive content in the community tab and super chats available when me and Morton start live streaming again, because guess how much this thing of lotion cost? Just guess. Type it in the comments. Take a break. Pause this video. Now unpause. When you're ready, come back. And you're back. This thing cost more than $20. But it's mostly for my babies. I mean, Wirt and I will use it occasionally, but it's mostly for the kids. And it made me think about a mindset that I had growing up that was just, and also hurtful, like not being told that I was pretty. You better appreciate this. That was the mindset. Like, and it hit me, and I was feeling kind of emotional thinking about what that message is. Maybe that's not intended, but what that message really is you better enjoy this thing, but not to the point of remembering what a burden you are for this. Like, if you need something, this is really good cream for my kids having sensitive skin. If you really need something, you give it joyfully. And you're like, I'm happy to spend this, to express this love to you because you need it, because it'll help you. The price is perfect. It's a mantra Morton and I have been trying to remember as we get, well, mostly him, but me sometimes get sucked into it, feeling nervous about things, or, you know, things cost what they cost. So the price is perfect. Gotta put the milks in the fridge and the yogurt, because we go through a lot of this stuff. There's a sponsorship I should get. Arla, are you watching this? Please give me money to talk about your milk in my videos. Okay, time to get on with the day. This is probably a good place to end this vlog. It's going to be possibly a bit longer than usual because I've had a lot more in my mind and in my heart to talk about. So here I go to edit a Pro Pet Photog video. Monique's sneak peek at her new studio space. Putting all this, and then at some point today, probably this evening, taking all the footage that's going to be in this video, putting it all into the software and having it all ready to go to edit tomorrow, Wednesday. and go up if I'm doing really well. Putting this phone down, stay, so that I can give proper hairy armpit hugs. Yep. Still not shaving, 'cause shaving sucks. Join me in no shave forever. Shaving sucks, so why do we do it? Why do we do it when it sucks so bad?
This is pretty much the
Best.
video ever made.